A live look at downtown Calgary as Calgary's downtown is now locked down. As thousands of people line the streets, bums are on the ground, feet are in the gutter, and of course cowboy hats just about everywhere.
Yeah, they're all here primed and ready to go for the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade.
This is the official kickoff to the greatest outdoor show on earth, making its post-pandemic return. Good morning, Alberta and Yahoo! I'm Dallas Flexhaug along with Blake Lough, and we are broadcasting live to the entire province this morning, so welcome.
Welcome. It is very hard to believe that the last Calgary Stampede Parade through our downtown was way back on July 5th, 2019.
This parade has been a tradition for more than 100 years, and it has, yes, been 3 years since we've seen the likes of a full-scale parade like we are about to in just a few minutes.
Calgary Stampede, we're always greatest together, and the last couple of years it's been very tough to gather together. It's important to have Calgarians know that this is the original gathering place for Calgary, and we are going to be together again.
As we see the show band starting to make its way down 9th Avenue, the iconic Stampede Parade is back, setting the stage for a 10-day party.
Those are the sounds we like to hear to kick off a parade.
And it's been 3 years since we've heard them ringing through downtown. We have team coverage for the Stampede Parade for you this morning as we broadcast right across Alberta.
Our Leslie Horton and the morning show's Jeff McArthur are both going to be taking in the sights and sounds along the parade route as we have been seeing with the parade show band. So let's take another listen in on the parade route. 110 Calgary Stampede Parade.
Thank you, Rob.
And as we listen into the Stampede show band, we can tell you this band was created in 1971. They were the official music ambassadors for the Calgary Stampede. We're talking 150 musicians, color guard dancers between the ages of 16 and 21, and they sound fantastic this morning.
And I am struck right away by just how many people are lining the streets, taking this all in, Dallas. Because again, it's been 3 years since the parade has made its way through the downtown Calgary. A lot of excitement as the show band makes its way to get this parade started.
Continue to listen to the show band. We are welcomed by the Stampede show riders this morning as well. They are a group of young equestrians, 14 to 21. They've got Western flair. They were formed in 1985. I want to make sure we're getting enough of the parade sounds for you this morning because that's what we like to hear. And I will tell you, they are so good because they spend more than 300 hours of rehearsal every year to come up with that performance. And here we go. Here is the Calgary Stampede show riders we were talking about, an equestrian group, Blake.
Yes, absolutely. They participate in that daily Stampede Rodeo Grand Entry. They serve as the color guard. And they do a lot of great work with youth within the equestrian community, really encouraging each member of the organization to achieve performance and personal excellence. So these are the guys that really promote the Stampede brand all across the world.
And they do fit that brand right there, just like this guy does. This is Harry the Horse, the official mascot of the Calgary Stampede. There is no Calgary Stampede Parade without Harry the Horse.
No, and if anyone is attending the parade in person and sees Harry the Horse, give him a howdy, give him a yahoo. That's what he loves to hear as the Stampede gets underway. Definitely a fan favorite and, you know, a symbol of the parade since 1985.
And now we are welcoming the Stampede Princesses, I believe, this morning for you, giving a wave to the crowd as they always get up close to the front of the parade for the show. That is going to be 5 kilometers long, take about 2 hours to get us through this Stampede Parade.
And making their way along the route now, we've got some cadets who are leading in front of that man right there, our Stampede Parade Marshal for 2022, Mr. Kevin Costner himself.
Needs no introduction, of Yellowstone fame, a Hollywood A-list actor, but right next to him, you can see in the red shirt there, that is John Scott. He is this year's, you hear the cheers. Let's listen to the cheers for Kevin Costner for a second.
The man looks comfortable on a horse, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's playing to the crowd, which I'm sure he will be. People, thousands of them, lining the route to see not only the parade, but Kevin Costner as well. Okay, back to the honorary Stampede Parade Marshal, and that is John Scott, just a fascinating person who has so many roots, not only with the Stampede for decades, but in the movie industry as well. Absolutely.
His company, John Scott Productions, out of Longview, Alberta, has been critical in so many Oscar-winning movies. He's acted as a horse wrangler, as a stunt coordinator. Some of his resume: The Revenant, Lord of the Rings, Legends of the Fall, among many others.
We know hundreds and hundreds of horses are provided to the Calgary Stampede each year. A number of folks, I know our Mayor Jyoti Gondak was saying that they get horse training, especially for this ride, and a number of these horses are used to lining this route.
And I think, Dallas, we're seeing some Stampede royalty right now. That is Sikapanaki Lowhorn, who is the First Nations princess this year. And beside her is Jenna Peters, the Stampede Princess for 2022.
I remember when they were crowned, talking about just how excited they were to be a part of this, thrilled. I know they do over 300 different events and appearances throughout the year, so it is not just the Calgary Stampede Parade. They have a big commitment, and they do a lot of good throughout the community throughout the year as well.
Yeah, Stampede sure keeps them busy, and I know later on in the parade we will be seeing some royalty from surrounding communities as well as we continue along the route.
Looking at the Honorable Salma Lakhani now, joined by a few other dignitaries this morning. You'll see a lot of politicians join this route as well, along with a number of tributes. Coming up, we're going to be seeing, we have a float coming from Ukraine as well, a special tribute as what's going on overseas this morning. We've got an exclusive interview coming up with Kevin Costner, which you can look forward to, taking a little bit of a pause downtown on this parade route.
You know what? I think with the excitement of Kevin Costner as parade marshal, they may have picked up the pace a little bit as we see a bit of a gap behind these last entries here. That's okay. Some lucky fans along the parade route will see more of Kevin Costner and John Scott. as they, slowly make their way down 9th Avenue in downtown Calgary. Just so people who are watching who are not familiar with downtown Calgary know, we are situated, our broadcast crew, just outside the Calgary Tower, that iconic landmark in Calgary.
If you want to know how many steps it takes to walk this parade route, can you guess, Blake?
Oh gosh, I have no clue.
6,300 steps to complete the entire route. Same length as just over 25 Calgary towers if they were laid end to end. So 15,748 feet. So proper footwear is needed here. It's a long haul for those animals. It's a long haul for the people. But again, thousands are lining the route just to take it all in, which
and people familiar with the Stampede will know that every year there's a fresh poster that is created. Kane Pendry, 19 years old from Edmonton, he created that winning poster. So shout out to him. It is phenomenal. It features the determination and competitive spirit of the relay races. A very powerful image, so congratulations to him.
Of course, you might recognize Qatari right-hand honorary parade marshal this year. She was on the poster for last year's Stampede. We've got another band coming up here, so we'll take a listen in before we tell you a little bit more about them.
And here we have the famous Red Surges of the RCMP, always a proud participant in the Calgary Stampede Parade. Of course, the RCMP in Alberta have a long, long history going all the way back to the 1800s, as we see the bus, the Brewster bus, making its way through as well.
Want to know a little bit more about the Brewster bus? 48 years the RCMP vets have been taking part in the Calgary Stampede Parade. This is in partnership with the Brewster Transportation in Banff. A pretty good looking vehicle. Hey, I can't do that.
Not many of us can. As we welcome Grandmaster Chai to the Calgary Stampede Parade. He is wishing everyone a happy and healthy summer. This is the Calgary Tai Chi and Martial Arts College with their Tiger Float, as this is the year of the Tiger and this group's 26th year in the Calgary Stampede.
Everything's looking great. I am thoroughly impressed. Of course, we mentioned we have team coverage for you today. We've got the morning show's Jeff McArthur standing by, and we also have our Leslie Horton, who is no stranger to the Calgary Stampede Parade.
I think she's still blushing. She was able to speak with a parade
marshal. We're down here
Kevin
on the
Costner.
parade. We just watched Stoney Nakoda Nation go by. The costumes were amazing. Hello. So we are at 9th Avenue and 3rd Street in the southeast part of the city, and that is the official beginning of the parade route this year. So usually it would be a couple blocks further away from us, but this is where we are this year, and we're hanging out. Oh, here comes Westjet, and they are getting the crowd going as usual, and it is quite a crowd. Let's want to talk to some of them. Let's talk to some of them. Maybe some global fans that maybe came in from Drumheller. How's it going?
Good.
So far, so smooth?
Yeah.
What time did you guys get down here to get these spots?
7.
7 o'clock this morning?
Yeah.
Nicely done. You gonna go to the grounds after?
Yeah.
Of course you are, as you And look, I've got my friend Connor over there. Oh wait, are you doing a little dance? Oh. You've lost a lot? And I'm not talking about your teeth. I'm talking about the floss dance. Let's talk about this parade, buddy. You are down here in prime seating zone. What do you think so far?
It's awesome. Like literal, I saw the Ghostbusters.
It was the literal ghost But it's so exciting that we're going to do a little bit more flossing down here as.
And we are going to do a little bit more looking at, yes, the Alberta Ghostbusters. He wasn't kidding.
Not at all. The Ecto 1, is it? That
yeah.
is here along the parade route. The Alberta Ghostbusters, they are a non-profit society that supports local charities through cosplay events, like the big one here in Calgary, the Calgary Expo, up in Edmonton as well, the Edmonton Expo. They love the cosplay. There's so much detail involved in this. I think they added those white hats, though. That might not be part of the traditional Ghostbusters costume.
I mean, if I wanted to be a part of any float at the Stampede, this might be it. In the Ecto 1 as a cowboy Ghostbuster, right?
I don't know if we can see it there, but there's the Ecto 1 car replica you see there, that infamous Ghostbusters vehicle. But behind it, those motorcycles, the Rocky Mountain Sidecar Adventures have the Ecto 3 motorcycle sidecars. Those are cool.
Heard the counting. I was waiting for the Yahoo, and there it was, if you could hear it. Going to take you for an above look. Look, that's our Calgary Tower, looking straight down on that parade route. The first Calgary Stampede Parade, by the way, 1912. There were 80,000 spectators at that time. That was double Calgary's population at that time. We won't have an official tally of this Calgary Stampede Parade just yet. But to give you a comparison, I know we're watching Alberta-wide. Up in Edmonton, Garth Brooks, 60,000 people in Commonwealth Stadium for that. The very first Calgary Stampede Parade, 1912, beat that by 20,000 spectators.
And Garth knows how to draw a crowd.
He did it a couple nights in a row, I think, up in Edmonton, yes.
Hey, we've got the Lord Strathcona's Horse Ceremonial Mounted Troop coming up. They're proud to be represented by Strathcona's Mounted Troop, the last Canadian military mounted troop. Very proud of their strong ties with Western Canada. As we have 24 soldiers here dressed in period uniforms, mounted on horseback. They do a minimum of one show season. And they do this all volunteers. They do this all on top of being the regular normal responsibilities as soldiers in the Canadian Armed Forces. So great to see them here in the Stampede Parade.
I love hearing all the sounds from the parade route as we are looking at now the Canadian National Railway celebrating its 100th anniversary. The Canadian National Railway, true backbone of the economy. It's been around, as you know, forever. 24,000 railroaders transporting more than $250 billion worth of goods annually, which is pretty impressive. Of course, everyone's had their issues. Supply chain issues over the little bit, but they keep working through, which is great as we take a look at their float and the little OB scale model of a CN locomotive. Little OB and Max the engineer. Max the engineer, you might look familiar to you if you've been to a Calgary Stampede Parade before.
All right, we're going to take a break as we take a look from the Calgary Tower. We do expect a very emotional moment with Glory to Ukraine, a float that is going to be a little bit later in the lineup here. We're going to be talking more about that, and we're going to show you that as it passes through downtown Calgary when we come back. Well, there's a new marshal in town, and we're taking a look at him right now. That is legendary actor, producer, director, and musician Kevin Costner, who is making his way along the parade route.
Yeah, behind the camera is Bruce Alhu, so we effectively calling him Costner Cam this morning as we are continuing to follow this year's parade marshal throughout the 5 kilometers of the parade this morning. And welcome back to the Calgary Stampede and the Calgary Stampede Parade, the first major parade in our country since the pandemic began. And we do want to welcome our viewers right across the province this morning. Thank you.
Gonna head back down to ground level as we see more floats, more carriages making their way along 9th Avenue in downtown Calgary.
You're looking right now at a Treaty 7 Stony Nakota Nation, so we're talking about the Bear's Paw, the Chiniki, and the Good Stony. their entry for the year. They do make an appearance in the Calgary Stampede Parade when there is a parade going on. 4,000 Stoney Nakoda members live on the nation's, this is southwestern of Alberta, so Morley, Rabbit Lake, Eden Valley, and Bighorn. Stoney Nakoda, by the way, got the name Stoney because European explorers saw them cooking with flat, hot rocks.
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Tidbit of history for you. Parade just taking a little bit of a pause. Of course, we're coming off of some very severe weather throughout Alberta last night. On sneak a peek down at the Stampede grounds, but thankfully this morning, nothing but sunshine.
Absolutely. We couldn't ask for a better day for the return of the Calgary Stampede Parade through downtown Calgary as we get some waves from the Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We will have a number of Indigenous representatives and floats making their way through the parade today. Of course, anyone who's been to Stampede knows down at the park there's the Elbow River Camp. That is a great place to speak with members of various First Nations, speak with elders, love sharing their culture down there, and it's always a very popular destination every time the Stampede comes around.
Last year we had a 1-hour Stampede just down on the ground, so it's just remarkable to see the streets lined again, and we knew people would be coming out in force to get back to this sense of normalcy for the Calgary Stampede. This parade year, the theme is "And the Beat Goes On."
Right.
Bringing back the excitement and the enthusiasm from the Calgary Stampede, and we will be hearing some more beats from a number of marching bands throughout the morning today.
So of course this is a massive operation to coordinate and organize, and so as the parade starts we have pacers who go along with the various floats and entries, trying to keep a pace. It's going to take, as you mentioned earlier, Dallas, about 2 hours to go the entire parade route.
And we saw the parade marshal Kevin Costner doing a little whoop-de-woos on his horse. You can tell he's comfortable on a horse, but really playing to the crowd. So might take a little bit longer, not sure. But again, there's 6,300 steps are to be had throughout the Stampede today. Going to see a number of floats as well. I think about 90 entries this year.
22 floats, 7 bands, more than 200 horses, and hundreds and hundreds, not thousands of people lining the streets, taking it all in.
You hot one out there? Of course, this is the first official parade in Canada since the pandemic began. Not long after us, K-Days is back too, up in Edmonton. July 22nd to the end of the month, I believe. So I'm sure lots of people gearing up for that one up in Edmonton as well. As we take a look at Westjet this morning. Their theme this morning is "Love Where You're Going." Certainly love having travel back, don't we?
Yeah, no kidding. And a lot of people are traveling. No doubt it's been a challenging time for airlines in Canada, but Westjet saying they're proud to be Canada's highest rated airline for customer service, and a proud sponsor of the 2022 bull riding at the Stampede Rodeo, always an extremely popular event.
All right, let's listen into this. This is the Naval Military Band that we are going to take a listen into for you right now.
So this is the 125th anniversary for the National Band of the Naval Reserves, and the Naval League Cadets have existed in Calgary since the 1950s. A long, long history of providing naval and marine-based training to the youth. So a big hello to them, and following that up, we've got
the HMCS.
HMCS.
Love seeing all the costumes. Might be a little bit hot in some of those, for sure. Let's tell you about the little Hmcs Calgary, visiting her namesake city from her home port of Esquimalt in BC. Hmcs Calgary has been coming to the greatest outdoor show on earth for a number of years now. They say they're happy to be a part of the Calgary Stampede. This was commissioned back in 1995.
There's always an interesting connection between the crews of those battleships in the Canadian Navy and the cities that they are named for. So great to have them here in Calgary and showing off some of the gear during the parade.
Yeah, Hmcs Tecumseh is a Naval Reserve unit based here in Calgary. It's been around since the 1940s. And into this next band.
So here we're going to have a series of groups within the Canadian military, the Canadian Army 100-man marching contingent, the Royal Canadian Artillery Band, some of the heavy vehicles.
Which are always so cool. And they have a number of different names that I will get them wrong if I try to point out each one. But I know there's a spot on Stampede Park where you can go see some of what the Canadian military does throughout the 10 days of Stampede. Really interesting to see the equipment for sure.
So the Royal Canadian Artillery Band provides music for military parades, ceremonial occasions, formal concerts and the like. Performs as a 35-piece brass and reed-parade band, a 35-piece concert band, as well as smaller configurations depending on the need. But we are getting the best of the best this morning.
In perfect step, as they always are, giving a wave to the crowds of thousands of people. So many cowboy hats we haven't seen together in so many years, right? Following them up is the Ismaili Muslim community. Let's talk about mental health. What's important about this group to note? Oh, look at that, he's peeking out through the top. It's coming up just behind the military, so I'm going to set you up before you get a look at this. So, this group reimagines their entry every single year. They have spent 3,500 hours and over 6 months to build the float that you are about to see. 35 years in the parade. This one is all about mental health, called Let's Talk About Mental Health.
And I know the Stampede, when they talk about the Ismaili Muslim community group, who we are going to see coming up as the military makes their way through and in front of Calgary Tower. The Stampede says they always do a fantastic job putting together a unique float every year.
Yeah, I jumped the gun a little bit, but here they come slowly, a bit of a gap in the parade, down the parade route. Once again, they spent 35 hours creating this float. Let's talk about mental health. Certainly an important topic of conversation we have seen over the past number of years for obvious reasons.
I should say 3,500 hours putting this together. As we take a look, and just to describe what you're seeing on this float here, we've got a green ribbon at the front, the international symbol for mental health awareness. On the sides, the slogans, "Let's talk about mental health" and "Turn I to we."
I feel like someone's watching me. Watching those folks on the parade route this morning. Yeah,
that head in the center of the float has gears that we're told will mimic the brain functioning. So again, a lot of creativity, a lot of innovation that goes into these floats.
We have team coverage. We've been working around the clock for you. Also on Kevin Costner Watch. So we are going to take you now to Leslie Horton, who is at the staging area with an exclusive one-on-one with our parade marshal, Kevin Costner. Leslie?
I'm sweating. Mr. Kevin Cowboy Costner, parade marshal, Thanks for being here. We're really happy to have you here. You know Calgary loves you. Calgary loves a cowboy.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be here. Thank you.
You have a history with the cowboy culture, which is one of the reasons they asked you to be the parade marshal. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think I actually have almost a bigger history with the idea of being in Calgary. You know, I've had good luck here. I've shot open range here, thank God, Calgary and Banff, and you know, and I shot Let 'Em Go here, and my band's played here. We're going to play tonight, but it's always nice to be invited anywhere.
Well, I imagine there's a lot of red carpets that set out for Mr. Kevin Costner. This time it's on a horse. You're comfortable on the horse?
I'm all right on a horse. You know, I don't know about walking through the middle of downtown. That seems a little bit odd. You're either drunk or you don't know where you're at.
One of those two. Yep.
You know, when you're walking down these streets.
Stampede Parade morning. Well, we wish you luck. You're ready to wave and you're ready to greet all of your fans. They're out there lining up right now.
Is that the job?
That's the job.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why. Maybe my horse will do a little work too.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Mr. Kevin Costner, Parade Marshal of the Calgary Stampede Parade 2022.
Lucky, lucky. Okay, how was that, Leslie?
She was pretty excited.
All I'm going to say is, did you see the way he leaned into me? Okay, so maybe I was the first leader-inner, but he was the leader-inner reactor, and I believe we're now married. So you may call me Mrs. K-Cross, if you will. And I let me tell you.
Okay, needless to say, she was excited. We can't hear Leslie. We'll get that microphone sorted out for you as we take you back to a look at the Calgary Stampede route this morning. What are we looking at here? We are looking at the Fort Calgary Outriders this morning. Dressed in blue, taking a little bit of a pause as we've seen throughout the morning this morning.
Yeah, so this group comes from Fort Calgary, the Fort Calgary Outriders. They've been part of that historic site since 1975. A lot of riding enthusiasts from all over Calgary and the areas around Calgary who ride annually in over a dozen equine events in the city. They're very, very skilled on horseback. You heard Kevin Costner say, "Oh, I don't know how comfortable I am. I do okay." These guys are the real deal.
They do okay. I think he does. At least he plays a good cowboy on TV in Yellowstone for sure. And worth noting again that his band, Modern West, will be playing tonight. So he has a few talents, obviously. You know what else is talented? I'm talented at eating mini donuts. Can we talk about those for a minute? Because they are going to be filling the Stampede. Guess how many mini donuts are made each year at the Stampede?
We've got to be over 20,000.
Blake,
did I go
2 million?
Whoa,
Over
okay.
the 10 days of Stampede.
Okay, that was a little off.
2 million. I think I'm 20,000 by myself over the 10 days of Stampede.
That's true. You got to take into consideration the 10 days, and I think weekends maybe when people are a little rowdier, maybe a few more mini donuts are consumed.
Everything in moderation. Maybe some Kraft Dinner soft serve for you. Maybe some squid ink corn dog. You know.
Yeah, there are some famously unique culinary creations that come to Stampede every single year.
Do you think the glazed donut grilled cheese sandwich comes with nutritional information?
I don't think anyone wants that nutritional information. I think you
it.
just want to say, I don't want to know what's in it. I don't want to know what it's going to do to my body. I just want to try it.
Deep fried Oreo mini donuts, that's another way to eat a mini donut. Some protein with the mealworm hot dog.
What was the lemonade, the special lemonade they have on tap here?
They have a cotton candy lemonade. If sweet's your thing, but if you want the bad breath, there's the bad breath lemonade, which comes with garlic and onions in it.
Caramelized onion, garlic. If you're ever in an awkward situation down at Stampede Park, that might be a good way to get out of it.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Just gotta grab a lemonade. There it is as we take a live look above the Stampede route from the Calgary Tower. Not every day you get to see this vantage point. How about flaming Cheetos fries? Just while we're on the topic of food, because that's there. Cotton candy on top of noodles with chicken and vegetables.
Well, now that sounds okay. I'm not the biggest spicy food guy, so I think the flaming hot Cheetos
Habanero ice pops will be out as well.
That'll be out. Yeah, that's going to be a pass from me.
Bye, kids. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, we have movement on the parade route once again. All these entries trying to keep pace so everyone, the thousands of people along the route, get a chance to take everything in. And it looks to me like this is the United Calgary Chinese Association Cultural Float. That association established in 1969 and have been promoting Chinese culture and Calgary's Chinatown, a fantastic part of our city, to the Calgary community. The theme this year, A Better Future Tomorrow. And I just want to mention what is being seen on this float here. You can see the panda, Chinese treasured animal, the panda bear, happily embracing Canada's treasured animal, the beaver. Very cool to see.
And of course, every year the Chinese calendar has a new animal. This year it is the Year of the Tiger, the Chinese calendar, which represents good health, strength, spirit, drive to achieve and make progress. Always bring lots of colors, a lot of cheers, and a very important float right now we get to share with you.
This right here is the Trizub Ukrainian Dance Ensemble with their entry, Glory to Ukraine. They've been participating for decades, but this is their first official entry in the Stampede Parade, I should say, doing pre-parade activities they've done for many years. But first time in the Stampede Parade, of course, very important for their inclusion this year.
Yeah, here's some of their music, so let's take a little listen in for you as we watch Glory to Ukraine. Of course, their message they want to promote as well, freedom for the world. As of course the world has been watching what has been happening to Ukraine over the past 4 months and change.
How's everybody doing today? Happy Stampede 2022 together again!
And with that, look from above, from Glory to Ukraine, we're going to take a quick little pause here. Still so much to come for you on this 110th Calgary Stampede Parade.
Yeah, taking a look at the Ukrainian flag with those umbrellas, you could hear the crowd really welcoming that particular entry. We're back with much more after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA.
Yahoo! Jeff McArthur from The Morning Show down on the parade route this morning. Good morning to you, Jeff.
Yes, hello. Good morning, everybody. This is my first rodeo, my first Stampede. How excited is everybody to be here at the Stampede Parade? Yes. Dallas, Blake, I gotta tell you, the atmosphere honestly is electric down here. Not only is this my first Stampede, but I ran into this gentleman This is your first time here. What's your name, sir?
My name is Detlef. I'm from Germany. That's my first time here, yes.
Yes, well, welcome, and all the way from Germany.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I understand that you just literally landed this morning?
Actually, we came on yesterday, but today we came in here town from Okotoks, and so we're just here for like the second day now. So.
Amazing.
We always start with a stampede.
Okay. How are you enjoying the parade?
Oh, I enjoy it a lot. It's so amazing. It's so fantastic to see all these people and all these horses and stuff. We don't have something like this in Germany. We have parades, but not like this. So
not like this.
No, that is unique.
There's a reason why we call this the world's greatest outdoor show.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I'm a fan already. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the parade.
Thank you. Have fun.
Yes. All right, we want to have a quick look right over here if we can. Here come the Calgary Hitmen, the Calgary Flames, current players and alumni as well, Dallas and Blake, as we are down here having a great time. It is a party here at the Stampede Parade. Back to you.
We are ready for the party as well. Dylan Dubé, Curtis Glencross among the Flames down there as well, with some roughnecks and stamps as well.
I love seeing, first of all, I'm going to be very excited for that, but very great to see all the people internationally coming toward it and the reputation that our city has on the world stage for this kind of thing.
Yes, this parade doesn't stop moving. We've got another band for you. Well, listen in. This is Calgary Roundup Band and the Calgary Stetson Show Band. They're marching together this year.
All right, so there was the Calgary Roundup Band, the Calgary Stetson Show Band. Great hearing the marching bands going through downtown Calgary. We're going to throw things over to our Leslie Horton, who's along the parade route.
And ahead.
As we take another look and check in with our Costner cam.
Good morning, Leslie.
So, the Costner cam's going to give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like to be that close to Kevin Costner. Some of us got even closer, but there's no need to brag about that at this point, is there? Costner cam. We've got our photographer Bruce on the road right beside Kevin Costner. I have to tell you, when he gets up on that horse, it looks like he has been doing that all of his life. Talk about smooth moves, man. Kevin Costner, and everybody here is so excited to see him. And John Scott as well, the other parade marshal. Such a long history of contributing to the film world here in Calgary and has worked with Kevin Costner before. So super cool that we are able to bring you the Costner cam, and really super cool that we're able to bring you this whole parade today. People are so happy to be back down here, and together again is the theme of this year's Calgary Stampede Parade. I gotta go over here. I got a little special guest that I want to talk to. Does anybody here need to have happy birthday sung to them at any point? Oh, Mary! How young are you today?
92.
92 years young, and there is chair dancing going on with you, I've noticed. You are enjoying your time at the parade.
I certainly am.
Did you see Kevin Costner?
Yes.
Right? His charisma exudes, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
How many Stampede parades have you been to?
This is my first.
92 years young, and this is your first. Well,
Right.
happy birthday to
Thank you.
And enjoy your parade. Mary turning 92 years young today. Hello. Here we go. The Fallon Dappa Coming up as we continue with our coverage from the Calgary Stampede Parade 2022 all together.
And as we continue with our listen to the Calgary Roundup and Calgary Stetson Show Band. Stetson Show Band formed in 1988, by the way. Have a little listen to this talent on display.
Okay, and here we have the Imagine Rotary nonprofit float, Rotary International, the world's largest service organization. You see that Pontiac there?
Not bad. They don't
Not
make
bad.
Pontiacs anymore.
No, they don't.
That one goes back a few years.
I have one of the last ones, by the way.
Oh, you did?
That's another story for another day. That is Jennifer Jones in there, who is the president of Rotary International. Not Jennifer Jones, the curler, I should add.
Okay, I was going to say, hey, multi-talented there too. I know this group has a significant convention coming up in Calgary over the next couple of years, so something to watch for there, but certainly good work that they do.
Yep, following that Pontiac, 50 young members and representatives from 47 Rotary clubs from across southern Alberta. The entry here is called Imagine Rotary.
And a rib fest. I mean, that I'm learning about this morning. Hello, waving to our Global News cameras. And a look from above from our Calgary Tower camera this morning.
In Dallas, I can hear some pipes.
Oh, everyone loves the bagpipes. There it is. All right, we are going to be taking you to the Calgary Fire Department Pipes and Drums Marching Band. Always a favorite. 2003, these guys were formed.
Let's take a listen.
Should tell you a little bit more about the Calgary Fire Department Pipes and Drums Marching Band. This is a volunteer-based band, so they love what they do. They do this for hundreds of hours a year on their own time to try and improve the look and feel of the band, and they have done such a good job.
Yeah, the pipe and drum band, followed by the honor guard carrying flags and colors of the fire department and the Calgary Firefighters Association. And then following that...
Oh, one that is so colorful every year. I always look forward to it. It's coming. It's coming our way. There it is. Look at the vibrancy coming off of this float, honoring the Philippines.
So this float here celebrating Fiesta Filipino. It's the biggest multicultural festival in Alberta. This is actually, Dallas, their first time joining the Stampede Parade in 30 years.
In 30 years, I'm thinking of a different one then. But this one, yes, also colorful. This one is included the members this year, doctors, nurses, medical employees. They wanted to honor grocery store workers and meat packers, among others. They also wanted to honor LGBTQ members from the Filipino community. in a traditional showcase that depicts its roots to the Spanish era and the crusade and finding the true cross, they say.
So many fantastic colors and some amazing music. So we'll listen in to the Fiesto Filipino float as we are going to take another break as we get closer and closer to the halfway point of this Calgary Stampede.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA. You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA.
Yes, and welcome back to Calgary in the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade, the first major parade in Canada since the pandemic began. And welcome to our viewers all across the province as we get things going about the halfway mark here.
Absolutely. Thousands of people lining the streets of downtown Calgary. So happy to have the parade back after 3 years being away. We've got the CPS Pipes and Drum Band coming down 9th Avenue right now.
But first, we're going to take you to our team coverage as it continues with the morning show's Jeff McArthur standing by, taking in all the sights and sounds that makes up the Calgary Stampede. First one, hello.
Blake, sorry, I'm really trying to hear you. There's just too much fun going on down here at parade level. Look what I found. It's Jack, and Jack, you're celebrating a birthday.
16th birthday today.
Yeah, well, congratulations. What does it feel like for your 16th birthday for the entire city just to throw a parade for you?
It's amazing.
Yeah?
I get a birthday a parade all to myself.
That's awesome. Now, this is a pretty cool sign, and I know you've been getting a lot of happy birthdays from people on the parade route. Tell us what's going on here in the back.
This is a tally mark for every happy birthday that I've gotten from the parade and from anyone watching the parade. And the circled one is from Kevin Costner.
Oh, how exciting was it to see Kevin Costner?
It was great.
Yeah. Who's this, by the way, right here?
That's my grandma.
Grandma? Grandma, how excited were you to see Kevin Costner?
Wonderful. Yeah. Yes, very good. Yeah.
You're choking on your words, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, enjoy the parade. Jack, happy birthday. Let's hear it for Jack. Dallas and Blake, back to you.
Fantastic. A happy birthday from Kevin Costner. That's not too bad.
I would take that one. It's Yahoo, not yeehaw around these parts, but that's okay. You're 16 years young. We'll let you get away with it this time.
Yes. Let's go back down to our Leslie Horton, who's along the parade route. Good morning to you, Leslie. Lots of activity where you are.
And here we are at 9th Avenue and 3rd Street, right near the horse's butt. And that's all I can smell. Who have we got here? Who's going on here? Hello, our city councilors.
Great to see you.
Good to see you all. Have a fun stampede. Have a fun stampede. And who we got here? We got some more city councilors. Hello, wave to your people. Wave to your people. We're going live this morning. And here comes Siksika. Oh, I love this. Take a look at Siksika, one, of course, of the Treaty 7 nations. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Stunning. Hello, Siksika. Nice to see you here. The horses are donning their outfits, as well as the riders that are donning their outfits. Now, of course, we've got members from all treaties represented here today. We just happen to be lucky enough to see Siksika. And of course, the Elbow River Camp is huge, and it is a really big draw for folks heading down to the Stampede. Hello, hello. And then we're lucky enough to catch the Kainai as well. Hi, how are you? Look at that horse. Look at that. Hi, Kainai. Hi, oh, beautiful, and with the feathers. Hello, hello. There you go, and Pekani and Kainai First Nation. So that's a little bit of a treat to get this close up to the folks from the Pekani and Kainai. See you at the Elbow River Camp. Cutie, see you at the Elbow River Camp. And here comes those, I forget what they're called. Dallas, you would know. The horses with the big long manes and the big long at the bottom of their feet, whatever I can't remember what it's called, but the beautiful horses. We love this, and getting up close with these folks. What are these horses called?
The Clydesdales, Les.
Gypsy Banners.
Gypsy Banners. There you go. They're the Gypsy Banners horses. Hello. And they are beautiful. So we, up close and personal, with the folks down here on the Calgary Stampede Parade, just pre-parade, so that we can actually walk onto the street a little bit and talk to some of these folks, which has been awesome. The Calgary Fire Department came by and stopped to say hi, fantastic. And now we've got CP coming by. Is there a train in the house? I believe there is. The sneak peek. Are you dodging horse puckies? Dodging horse puckies. That's what you do when you are used to the Calgary Stampede Parade. Together again in 2022, guys.
Together again, one of the themes, and the beat goes on. The other theme for the Calgary Stampede Parade as we say Yahoo and look at Falun Dafa this morning. Falun Dafa, by the way, a Chinese spiritual practice based on the principles of truthfulness, compassion. Millions of people practice it in over 100 countries. Nice to see Falun Dafa joining the 110th Calgary Stampede Parade this morning.
And you see that massive ship there. Shipbuilding technology, highly advanced in ancient China. So this elegant float was designed and made by the local Falun Dafa practitioners. Very cool to see as they give us an example of that spiritual practice.
Yeah, and you hear the drum. That's the Falun Dafa Waist Drum Team. They were established 20 years ago, nearly. Waist drumming has a history of 2,000 years in China. So that's what you're listening to this morning as we also take a look at some dancers. Now, historically, the parade committee has projected live in-person audiences for the Calgary Stampede to be 300,000 people or more. Of course, this is the first time Calgary has seen a full in-person back-to-back Stampede Parade since 2019. So we'll have to wait and see official word from the Calgary Stampede as to just how many people lined the 5 kilometers of parade route this morning.
But the expectation from Stampede organizers was bigger and better than ever. And as we can see from our position right at Calgary Tower, it certainly seems like that is the case as far as the number of people who have turned out to watch this fantastic kickoff to the Calgary Stampede.
And this is a look at above from our Calgary Tower camera this morning. The weather has been sorted out so far. Looks like it's going to be quite a hot 10 days of Stampede. A little bit unsettled as we continue to watch Falun Dafa waist drummers this morning.
So as the Falun Dafa Association continues their performance, just starting to move on with that waist drumming, those beautiful yellow silk costumes, styled from the Tang Dynasty, considered the most glorious period in Chinese history.
Interesting.
Very, very fascinating seeing all these cultural floats and cultural entries. Very, very cool.
Yeah, if that's not your type of music, there's plenty to see on the Coke stage this year, but plenty to see right here. Always Such a fan favorite, always a part of the Calgary Stampede, the Al-Azhar Shriners of Southern Alberta. They have been here since the beginning, since the very first Calgary Stampede in 1912.
Okay, Dallas, I'm seeing horses. I'm not seeing Tin Lizzies.
Tin Lizzies, those are those little cars, those little planes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they always round up the end, right? Didn't they always, traditionally they've always been the very end.
Right.
After sort of the pooper scoopers of the Calgary Stampede and the sweepers, they kind of do their little spin.
Don't want to get that on the wheels.
Yeah, you don't want to get that on the wheels, but they've got some experience doing it for sure. 250,000 members from 195 different clubs, number of countries: U.S., Canada, Brazil, Mexico, Panama, Philippines, Puerto Rico, Germany, Australia, and Colombia. So they're the real deal.
And doing so much for youth in all of those communities that they work in. Of course, there's the Shrine Hospitals, including one in Montreal. The Shrine Centre for Southern Alberta is located here in Calgary. And here are those Tin Lizzies I was looking for.
We saw the Segways. I don't think they were there in 1912. I think that's
Yeah,
an
no.
addition, a more recent one. The Shriners do have a message, though, to all the people of Southern Alberta for their support over 100 years, as they do help provide excellent orthopedics and burn care for children in need. There is no Stampede Parade without these Tin Lizzies.
Yeah, well, I want to correct myself. The Tin Lizzies are the cars that we saw. These are the mini planes. This is their Air Corps.
Yeah.
So they have, there's the Tin Lizzies. The Shriners kind of have a monopoly on miniature vehicles of all sorts.
Okay, I want a Tin Lizzie now. That looks so fun, and they're always so happy. I've never seen a Shriner without a smile on his face going down the 5 kilometers of Stampede route. They might take a little bit longer than some of the bigger vehicles that we have seen. Giving waves to the crowds of thousands. Those are the cars. We've seen the Segways, we saw the airplanes, and now the dinosaurs. Now we're taking it way back.
This is going way back. This is again, the monopoly on small vehicles has expanded to the prehistoric age. Just incredible to see, and as you mentioned, yeah, a fan favorite for sure. Everyone loves seeing the Shriners at the Calgary Stampede Parade.
So fun. All right, stay with us. There are more than 200 horses in the Stampede Parade. We're going to take you for the oldest known riding horse in the world ahead. We'll be seeing the Arabian horses. You want to pay close attention to the riders as well as their intricate costumes.
Looking forward to that. You're watching the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade, the official kickoff to the greatest outdoor show on Earth. Stay tuned.
Yahoo!
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA.
We're not going upstairs, though.
Well, I said we're going to be higher.
No, there's no windows up there.
I can see windows on the top.
Yeah, those, yeah. Look, you can see the
I can see an airplane up there. I guess the airplane's higher than us. Look at those small. Oh, the heart.
It's a heart, you're right. Does it feel weird to walk on here, Aisha?
Yeah, especially when you look down. It feels like you're flying.
It does. That's a really cool feature, though. Yeah, like we should.
Do the whole thing. So we had, in like the capital planning, we did 7 million for like every 3 years before all the fun stuff happened. And it's even like glass is cool, but it's like how can we monetize that? Like how can we get, like we talked about doing these papers, making sure we have a key step on this, but it's not paper enough to do that. Chicago 360 had like a tilt window, so like, that's where that is for like incremental.
They're going so slow. Look, there are more horses.
Yeah. I think they added their tilt window in, I want to say it was like 85 years But it's like it's got hydraulics, so you sit in it and then it goes down to like 45 degrees. So it's like normal windows and then you're like, so it's adding But yeah, that would be a ton of fun.
You can run around with things if you want. There's nobody else here.
No, you get the place to yourself.
Did you see the guys?
Good morning and welcome back to the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade. We are broadcasting all across the province of Alberta as we kick off the Stampede.
And as we continue past the halfway point now and taking a look at the CP Little General and Canadian Pacific Police float. It's a mini train built back in 2014 with little people on it right now. Some young folks waving to the crowd.
You know, the white hat, an iconic piece of the Calgary Stampede and the Calgary tradition. That is maybe the biggest white hat I've ever seen, sitting there atop the CP Little General.
So there are 95 entries in this year's Stampede Parade. This one in particular, I should tell you, this is a quarter scale GEAC 4400 locomotive, dome car and caboose. You can fit 20 children on board. CP employees and their families are at the heart of a mini train program. They volunteer countless hours to decorate what they call the Little General. So the cowboy hat and boots on the train are a nod to CP's Western roots with CP's Canadian headquarters right here in Calgary.
And their message this year, of course, safety is number one. CP, the tracks go right through downtown Calgary. And so CP reminding everyone it's never safe to play on or near the track, so that's a big part of their mini train program.
Sure, look at these stacks and stacks of people lining downtown streets, something we certainly haven't seen for a while as the parade route taking just a little bit of a pause. Again, I mentioned 95 entries in this year's Stampede Parade. Of those, 22 floats, 7 bands, more than 200 horses.
And speaking of horses, that heavy horse hitch that you see on screen right now, that is the Alberta Gypsy Vanner Horse Club, by the way, their first year in the parade.
Talking about volunteers who are putting these floats together, making these entries happen, we should talk about the volunteers that work specifically just on the Stampede Parade. Over 140 of them make this happen. Some of them have been working on the parade for over 40 years. Of course, there are plenty more who volunteer throughout the Stampede, throughout the year, and throughout the 10 days at the park as well.
Yeah, and of course, we focus on the 10 days of Stampede that get started with the parade and all the big events that happen around this time in July. But the Stampede as a whole, as an organization, as well as the Stampede Foundation, they do work all year round in southern Alberta, do phenomenal work raising money for various charities in our city and the surrounding communities. So it really is a year-round affair.
And say for the Stampede Princesses, right? They'd make more than over 300 appearances each year throughout the community doing good things, which is a great thing to do. A sneak a peek we saw last night, a little bit soggy down there at the grounds, but that was the first time we saw performers back on the Coke stage, the new Coke stage, and on the southwest end of Stampede Park. I can tell you Alessia Cara, Tokyo Police Club, Cascade, Carly Rae Jepsen, they'll be all taking the stage at some point.
Yeah, some big names, Bahamas, Half Moon Run playing today. And of course, all these people who are lining the parade route, you have to imagine quite a few of them are going to be heading to Stampede Park immediately after this parade, as there is free admission today once the parade wraps up until 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, get there before 1:30 and you are set. We are looking at the Nigerian Association for you right now. The Nigerian Association of Calgary. And they are stacked high. That is a good looking float.
Yep, showcasing Their motto, our youth, our future. That is the theme of this year's entry, the beauty of Nigerian culture, while adding diversity and entertainment to the parade. Lots of colors, lots of dancing and music. Nigeria, by the way, the most populous country in Africa with diverse cultures spread over 200 tribes, all with distinct languages.
Oh, that's fascinating. The Nigerian Canadian Association of Calgary began back in 1993. So it's been around for a while, bringing us some music and some dancing to this 110th Calgary Stampede Parade this morning, as we do continue to broadcast throughout Alberta today. K-Days, I should say again, up in Edmonton, coming up. Later this month, July 22nd, is their kickoff. But this Calgary Stampede Parade, the first major parade in Canada since the pandemic. So a lot of eyes and a lot of celebrating happening this morning as we all get back to what we know how to do here in Calgary.
Yeah, and we sure know how to do it. And this is going to have animal lovers excited as we take a look at the positive miniature horsemanship entry. Second year that they are here to entertain with their award-winning miniature horses.
Okay, this is a fan favorite. This was my favorite as a kid, being out on the parade route. I would always wait, not only for the Shriners and the little cars, but for the little miniature horses as well. And they handle the crowds, all of the horses, so well throughout the 5 kilometers, 6,300 steps to get through the entire route downtown. To be registered with the American Miniature Horse Association, by the way, they have to be under 34 inches in height. So they're measured.
I love how they're just saying we can do whatever the full-grown horses can do as well. We're bringing carriages along with us and the wagons and all that stuff. Great to see.
Small but mighty. Where are we going next? Okay, I think we're going back on the parade route where our Leslie Horton has been standing by all morning.
Absolutely. Let's go to you, Les. What are you seeing down there?
As they wait to move on, we're being treated to some dancing by this entry from the Peru Cultural Association, which is a nonprofit ready to celebrate all things from the culture of Peru. And they are dancing in their beautiful outfits. Hello. Dancing in their beautiful outfits. I'm wondering how hard it is to dance with that. How hard is it to go through a float with that on?
It's very heavy, but it's worth it.
It's very hot? Very hot, I bet it is. Now, I just want to say something. These are beautiful outfits. Last time around, outfits was the word that was in my head. Costumes is the word that came out. Apologies, I misspoke. Outfits was the word I meant to say. Come on up here. I got a few of these folks ready to go. Are you ready to go, sir?
Yeah.
And what are you going to be doing?
I'm just going to be walking beside a float. I don't really know which float I'm going to.
You don't know which one?
Yeah.
You seem like the most organized of all of these gentlemen that are surrounding you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You know, ma'am, you know exactly what's going on, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so you're going to be ready, standing by, and then you're going to be assigned to a float, and then you're going to walk the whole route.
Yes, we are called pacers. The cadets do this every single year. It's a fun duty of mine to do, so.
Have you done this before?
No, but I'm really excited to do it for my first time.
Your first one. Well, make sure you have some water. It's really hot.
Don't worry. They supplied us with that in our pockets.
Okay, ma'am. You go and you do your thing. Are you ready to go, buddy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. You got some freckles popping out, maybe some sunscreen on that face?
Yeah, it's hot out today.
It's really hot. Make sure that you get some hydration. And here we go with Parks Canada. And that's Sparka the beaver there. Of course it is. And we've got the wildlife photographer right here. Parks Canada. And we've got the Penticton Beach Fest float. It is hot enough right now down here on the grounds that it feels like we're at the Penticton Beach Fest right now. Oh, we're gonna have dueling photographers, are we? Yeah, I like it. That's what's going on down here. These folks are just before the official kickoff to the parade. That's why we're able to interact with them a little bit. We've got more on that, the live broadcast of the parade. You name it. It's all coming up on Global 22.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA.
The official kickoff of the Calgary Stampede as we are listening to the Red Deer Royals Marching Show Band. And if you're of a certain vintage, you'll know that this song is from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. And it's quite amazing.
It is amazing. I wonder how many of the members of this marching show band will be familiar with that, as they are between the ages of 12 and 20.
All right.
But they are world class.
Yes.
They do their musical performances for local crowds and internationally, entering in competitions all over the world.
98 of them. This summer, by the way, they're going to be competing in the World Association of Marching Show Bands Championship in Calgary. Following the Calgary Stampede, they're going to be heading over to England and Ireland to compete in the Horizon Band Festival in Limerick, Ireland. Trying to get the chorus again. I want to know. There you go. If you'll be my girl. You know it. If you know, you know. Thousands of people lining the parade route. On any normal year, it would be 300,000 people estimated by the Calgary Stampede. Who knows this year, as we're back for the first time in 3?
Well, that's the thing. And Stampede organizers certainly expect a massive turnout, as after the last 2 years, they say they're coming back bigger and better than ever. And everything that we've seen so far this morning suggests that, yes, Calgarians and people, as we've seen throughout the morning, from all over the world, in fact, are flocking to downtown Calgary to take this all in.
I talked to some folks from Germany, from all throughout southern Alberta, and we've got floats representing people, folks, cultures from all over the world as well, and that includes Mexico.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Consulate of Mexico in Calgary has entered into the parade. The theme is Mayan culture. 20 to 30 volunteers were involved in the float that we're going to see, as we hear a mariachi band in the background there. So we've got dancers, we've got horse experts, we've got singers. And we were told that the Consulate of Mexico is going all in this year. They've got events happening all over the city to encourage education in Mexican culture and tourism to Mexico.
Oh, yes, speaking of tourism, I hear they're throwing out free all-inclusive trips to the Mayan Riviera to celebrate, as they do celebrate the Yucatan Peninsula.
What are we doing in studio here? I want to be down taking that in person.
Yes, all of those crowds are going to be headed, I would imagine, to Stampede Park. Stampede Park is ready for those crowds to welcome free admission up until 1:30 this afternoon.
Yes, let's go back down right to the parade route with our Jeff McArthur from the morning show, who is enjoying his very first Calgary Stampede Parade. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, sure, and Blake, thank you very much. Actually, I'm no longer ground level. I think I found the spot to watch the parade. It took me a little while, but I feel like I'm kind of in like the VIP box. Or does everybody feel like a very important person up here? Yeah, including Renee. Renee, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Now, you are from Calgary. Tell me, how great is it to see the Stampede Parade back for the first time in years?
It's amazing, and weather couldn't be better.
Yeah.
It's clear skies, no rain.
Yeah, and so great to see everybody. I mean, we got a great vantage point here, but it's just so great to see everybody come together once again. The first time since COVID.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing to have all friends and family together and seeing all the people out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, favorite part of the parade so far?
Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters squad car was out.
Come on, I missed the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Sorry, Kevin Costner, but You got beat out by the Ghostbusters this time.
All right, well, we found one person that found something a little better maybe than a Kevin Costner film. You're a Ghostbusters fan. I'm going to go up the parade route and see if I can find the Ghostbusters. Blake, Dallas, back to you from high above the Stampede Parade.
Yeah, so apparently Peter Venkman and the Ecto-1 more important to him than Kevin Costner. How are you feeling, Jeff? Your very first Calgary Stampede Parade. I know it's a little bit warm out there. How are you holding up?
Well, I'll be honest, the double denim I'm rethinking. It was good early this morning, but the sun is coming down now. But this is just fantastic. It is an amazing atmosphere. The people of this city are amazing. It's been amazing to meet so many people coming in from all over the world here. And again, it is just fantastic to see everybody together once again, the first time in just so long. So it's been great, a fabulous experience.
Thanks, Jeff. I do love the commitment to the Stampede look with the double denim, and that was fantastic. Okay, we're going back to the parade route right under Calgary Tower as we got some more music. Let's take a listen.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by OPA.
Welcome back to the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade. You are looking not only at a piece of cherry pie, but the very first new entry this year for the TELUS Spark Science Center.
They do phenomenal work.
There's some bananas as well.
In our city, yes. All sorts of stuff. Space cowboys, astronauts, those bananas. I don't know if we could see it there, but Flint, the robotic dog from Boston Dynamics, who's a mainstay at the TELUS Spark Science Center, all about teaching young folks and everybody about some of the fascinating things in the scientific world. So great to see that cherry pie there.
That cherry pie designed and built by a technician team at TELUS Spark, by the way. So there's a lot going on there. The entire entry made in Calgary by Calgarians. So take a look at that cherry pie and remember that from the TELUS Spark. Remember this as well. Look at this fascinating, colorful entry coming our way. The Roots of Peru. Okay, cutie. Okay, the Peru entry represents the country's 3 regions, the coast, the highlands, and the rainforest. This float displays the Lord Saipan. It was a mummy found by a Peru archaeologist, apparently, discovered in 1987.
Yeah,
history for you.
a lot. Yeah, absolutely, and very cool sharing the culture there. Roots of Peru, a non-profit cultural association, spreading, sharing, preserving Peruvian culture in Alberta. So lots of volunteers involved in this parade entry. The float that we should see in just a little bit, built by volunteers, took 3 months to put together, and interestingly, most of the material that was used was actually brought in from Peru.
Interesting. You see some guinea pigs there as well. What do you think they do with those in Peru?
I'm not sure, and I don't know if I like where this conversation's going.
Yeah, no, everything Peru, lots of colors there. I believe they're a delicacy in Peru, from what I understand. So, a good representation of culture, lots of colors, lots of waves to the thousands of people lining the streets of downtown for this 5-kilometer route, 6,300 steps. Every one of those people is making, no matter what they're wearing.
Pío, 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 con elegancia. Bailemos, cantemos, bailas moderno. Pío, 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 en chonque café. Artista linda de tereña.
Our Leslie Horton talking to that fellow. a little bit earlier saying it's very sweaty inside.
Yeah, if Jeff McArthur's hot in double denim, I can't imagine what those folks are experiencing right now in those very intricate costumes.
Let's welcome in the Salvation Army and the Glenmore Band.
About history with the Salvation Army Glenmore Temple Band, formed in 1892. So just incredible, and a wide range of members there, 15 years old up to 81.
Oh, man, I love that. That's inclusive. You're looking at Parks Canada, their float here. Parks Canada, you are very familiar with, I'm sure. It was created in 1911, so 1 year before the Calgary Stampede Parade began its journey down the streets of Calgary, the world's first national park services agency. That's no small feat. This is a look at their very fitting float entry for this year. And you can't do anything in the parks, and I think that's what they're trying to show us.
I love this, yeah, showing all the different things you can do. You see the wildlife photographer. Oh, and here, this is super cool. We have the, this is still Parks Canada. This is their mounted color party, who represent the working horses of the Mountain National Park. So very cool to see them as well. The horses, a very vital part in some of those parks employees to get to different parts of the parks that are hard to get to, that they don't want to use, you know, wheeled vehicles and things like that. So still a big part of Parks Canada.
Yeah, Penticton wants you to be thinking about their Peach Festival because that's coming up August 3rd to 7th. Nothing wrong with Penticton. You'll find a lot of sun out that way as well. 75th annual Penticton Peach Festival. The beach, fishing, wineries, and of course all the peaches.
Well, we hear a lot about Princess Peach. This is Queen Peach.
All right.
Queen Amrit Dhaliwal, who, yes, is inviting us all to visit Penticton, check out the Peach Festival there. That's in August.
I like the Super Mario reference. That's Princess Peach, right?
Of course.
Okay, I was like, maybe I got it wrong. This parade began at 9th Avenue, 3rd Street. It has been winding its way down 9th Avenue to 10th Street Southwest. It has turned up 6th Avenue. It's going to finish at 4th Street in the southeast, at which point gates to Stampede Park will open. But first, let's welcome in the Calgary Korean Association.
Absolutely, the Calgary Korean Association, they love sharing their Korean heritage with communities in Calgary and around the world. We got 60 people from the association walking in the float. You can see them wearing their traditional Korean clothing. We've got dancers, we've got a martial arts team, and a drum team.
Yes, you're seeing the traditional clothing of Korean dancers here. We saw some really incredible regalia from the Blackfoot Confederacy earlier as well. Just remarkable to see the colors line the streets this morning. You're looking at a martial arts team and a drum team as well, also representing the Calgary Korean Association.
Some well-deserved applause for the Calgary Korean Association, and we promised we'd be seeing more royalty this morning, and here they are.
This is visiting royalty, so from outlying areas We've got Hannah from the Airdrie Pro Rodeo, Brianna from Cochrane Lions, Bailey from Medicine Hat, she's the Medicine Hat Queen, Mackenzie Skeets, Miss Panoka Stampede, Martina Holtcap, Strathmore Stampede Radio, Kaylee Shantz, Miss Rodeo Sundry, Jasmine Dahl, Miss Rodeo Stavely, Kennedy Hemmingson, Miss TP Creek, and Jenna Johnson and Angela McCauley, the Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days. So nice to see visiting royalty come from other areas to us this Miss Rodeo Canada as well. Sweet Jaden Calvert leading that entry, by the way.
Oh, here we see Steena Nation.
More traditional regalia.
Absolutely, arriving on horseback. Of course, First Nations have played a huge role in the parade since the very first one back in 1912. 1,800 members of Treaty 7 led the parade, and that was at the request of the founder of the Calgary Stampede, Guy Weddick. So great to see the Steena Nation represented here this morning.
Folks from around here will recognize that name, Guy Weddick, steeped in history in Calgary and the Calgary Stampede as well. Again, you might want to check out the Elbow River Camp down at Stampede Park this year. You'll see lots of these things representing Treaty 7 and beyond. Waves to the crowd of people from a wagon in their traditional regalia, as we were saying, as we take a live look from above. And now, you know, this has been such a journey for us this morning. We're a couple minutes left. The parade is still going, but we have seen people come from all over the place. We've been talking to folks from Germany, all throughout southern Alberta, from Australia as well. And we've got one of our own from Toronto.
We've got a first-timer, our Jeff McArthur from the morning show. Let's head down to him for some final thoughts. What do you think, Jeff?
Blake, Dallas, thank you to everybody in Calgary, to the global team. I mean, what an amazing day this has been. As I mentioned a moment ago, it is just so great to see the entire city back together once again. Stampede in full effect. Having watched this up close and seeing some of the organizers behind the scenes, I mean, I'm just in awe of the organization and what it takes to pull off a day like this. It's just amazing. Again, a couple of takeaways for me. One I learned yesterday, my pants over the boots, so I got that down now. And again, I mentioned I'm going to rethink the double denim maybe for next year. And I know it's only, what, 10:45 here Calgary time, but to this Toronto guy, it's past noon, and I'm thirsty and ready for a beer.
And you,
Leslie Horton.
He deserves one, I believe, as we go over to Leslie Horton, also on the parade route this morning.
Well, Jeff, I hope you are having fun during your first Calgary Stampede Parade. I've got a horse butt coming right at me. That's what you call Stampede Parade. This, where we are, is the end of the line for the Calgary Stampede Parade. The thank you for coming sign is up, but we're way back, even back further than the start of the parade. So there is still more parade coming your way on the TV, going that away on 9th Avenue. So things will wrap up within the next 15-20 minutes. Did we enjoy the Calgary Stampede Parade? Yahoo for 2022 from where we are, 6th Avenue, 9th Avenue. Where are we? Someone needs a coffee. 9th Avenue and 3rd Street in the southeast part of the city. We see the street sweepers coming our way. Still some more fun to be had towards the cameras where you guys are, but it's been a lot of fun for us. So we'll see ya later.
Oh, thanks so much, Les. Leslie is a champ out on the Stampede route. Her friend Mary, 92-year-old Mary, just found a perfect spot in the shade along the parade route. We were talking to her a little bit earlier.
Absolutely, yeah. Not Leslie Horton's first time enjoying a Stampede. Maybe
not
the
her first rodeo. As
not
they
her
say.
First rodeo. First time getting up close and personal with an A-lister like Kevin Costner at Calgary Stampede Parade. That was very cool.
Good parade marshals. We had William Shatner, Walt Disney back in the day, Felipe Mazzetti, who is the youngest person to travel the Americas on horseback, as we continue our look. Rounding out the 2022 edition of the Calgary Stampede Parade. Everyone's so happy to be back for the first time in full form and fashion since 2019. Look at the moves on the parade route. This is the Calgary Seat Community Float. Beautiful flowers lining this float. Again, some great dancing from behind as well.
So the Hmcs Culture Center, a non-profit religious organization established in Calgary in 1989. They got more than 20,000 members and over 500 people visit this center daily. A lot of volunteers involved there, and that was a great representation of traditional Sikh faith.
Think about it though, because they have to walk, 15,000 feet, 6,300 steps, and the energy that they can keep up throughout the entire parade is remarkable. They're taking a look at the Lethbridge and District exhibition right now. Small wagon, couple of horses leading them.
Yeah, we got Mayor Blaine Higgin there in the carriage. Hello to our friends down in Lethbridge.
Yeah, and up in Edmonton as well, as we do continue to broadcast live throughout Alberta for you, rounding out the Calgary Stampede Parade. The Lethbridge and District Exhibition, 4th oldest agricultural society in Alberta. Since the first fair in 1897. Think the first Calgary Stampede was 1912, so they've been in the fair system since 1897. They've hosted more than a century worth of agriculture, trade shows, midways, rodeos, sporting events, and a number of special events as well.
You want to talk about Western heritage? Yes. Here are the Wildies, the women of the Wild West. Making their way down 9th Avenue, started in 2006 by a group of like-minded women who wanted to celebrate the roles that women played in the past, especially in this area of the country, of course, used to be the Wild, Wild West.
Hey, let's go to Yahoo way up there! On 3, 1, 2, 3!
Did you catch the Yahoo? Yes, around these parts at the Calgary Stampede and in this city and in this province, you say Yahoo for the Calgary Stampede, not the Yeehaw. And if you do end up saying Yeehaw, it's okay, but someone's probably going to correct you at some point.
Yes, a polite correction required there. And as our Jeff McArthur found out, pants over the boot. It's another thing you want to remember.
Pants over the boot. A tip I learned too is if you're going to be out walking and it's going to be hot and you're scared of blisters, is to put a plastic bag over your sock and in between the boot. Sounds sweaty, but I've heard that it works.
Very interesting. Might need to try that out as we have temperatures in the high 20s today and in the next couple of days. We just saw Wow One-Day Painting making their way down below the Calgary Tower as we take a bird's eye view from above.
And as we've mentioned, following this parade shortly in about 13 minutes time, it's going to be free entry into Stampede Park. So I'm sure a lot of these folks are going to be funneling into the Stampede where there is plenty to do. Let's not forget about the dog show. Also a favorite down there. They've got daily shows at the BMO Center where you get to see the dogs do all the tricks, which is really cool. The Chucks are back this year. The Grandstand show, Dean Brody's leading that off.
Yeah. A ton of musical acts. We got the powwow this year, which is going to be really cool to take in. And then all the events that we all know and love. You mentioned the chuck wagon racing, but all the rodeo events. It's going to be huge.
And the relay races as well. And that big super wheel first for Canada. The only place this year you can ride it in Canada. Blake, you're not a fan of heights though.
Not a big fan of heights. Get a little queasy when we take that Calgary Tower shot, but that's okay. That's okay. I like where we are ground level here as we see the Calgary Marathai Association making their way down 9th Avenue. Lots of colors and sounds approaching as they make their way down the parade route right now. A language of India. It's one of the top 10 languages in the world with the most native speakers in again, in the top 10 there.
80 million people speak that language worldwide.
The Marathi people, a rich heritage of thousands of years of being great warriors, and saints, and things like that. We see a great display of that Indian culture here. folk songs, dance. The association itself has been around for over 3 decades, kind of building and taking care of the community, the Marathi community in Calgary, supporting a lot of the charities that have popped up here in Calgary. So we're seeing a lot of traditional attire. We're hearing the traditional instruments.
And some great sounds coming from them. So maybe let's just give you a little listen. A big entry, some great sounds. Just one of 95 entries in the Stampede Parade this year. Lots of smiles, and again, a long haul, 5 kilometers for these folks rounding out the parade. Still lots of energy, still smiles on their faces, pleasing the crowds that line the streets all along the parade route.
Yeah, we've had so many diverse cultures represented and a number of different communities represented. Right now, this is the town of Vulcan, known as the Star Trek capital of Canada.
I was going to say, the diverse cultures, including Vulcan.
Right, yes.
Yes, live long and prosper. There's a Klingon there if you're a Trekkie. Beautiful town to visit, though, if you haven't been that way. I know you worked in Lethbridge, too, so you probably visited the town. So a really good Star Trek museum down there.
The Star Trek Museum, the Enterprise, right in this town center. I know when Leonard Nimoy, who famously played Spock in those Star Trek movies and series, when he passed away, there was a massive, massive celebration of his life in the town of Vulcan.
Yeah, people take it seriously. They travel from all over the world to go visit that town for that reason, which is just remarkable legacy that they would continue down in Vulcan. So thank you to the town of Vulcan, the Star Trek capital of Canada, and that float representing the town of just over 1,900 people.
See the wagon coming through by the Calgary Tower. We have some members of Parliament here.
We've seen some politicians from all levels of government, some city councillors, some MLAs as well, MPs now. No shortage of mixing pancakes with politics over the 10 days of Stampede. All right. Another good listen, another good performance for you here as we continue to round out with Our Lady of the Rockies High School Marching Band. Sound good.
They sound fantastic. They're actually one of the last school-based marching bands in Canada.
Wow.
They got started in 1989, so carrying on that tradition, they've been competing at world-class events. 85 high school students involved in this marching band from Our Lady of the Rockies High School. And they've been doing the Stampede Parade for over 20 years now. So you have to imagine for all those high school kids getting involved in the marching band, you know that this is the big day.
And you get to round out the parade as well. We do what we can here. There's a lot going on, 95 entries. Some fan favorites, the men in kilts, they're the ones who, they're the pooper scoopers of the group. So they have an entry in the parade. It's a long-standing tradition for them. They go clean up what over 200 horses on the parade route have done. With their poop kicker, they're back for the 5th year this year, as we are with the Waves rounding out this 110th Calgary Stampede Parade, and it has been quite the journey. You could feel it leading up to this moment that the city has just been electric, and we were waiting and ready for this.
We were certainly ready for this. All these people that you see lined up in downtown Calgary were ready for this as well, as the Calgary Western Riders close out the 2022 parade. As we take a live look at the Stampede Park Midway Parade. Now, it's wrapped up, Dallas.
Together again, and there will be a lot of people together again, filing into Stampede Park as that Midway gets officially underway. Yes, in just a few minutes, the gates at Stampede Park opening up for free for some of those parade goers right up until 1:30 this afternoon.
It's going to be busy down there, and there is really so much to experience at Stampede grounds this year. The Stampede, of course, back in full swing with the classics that we know and love and have missed, the rodeo, the games, the food, rides, and music. There's a lot of new things also, along with those classics, to try out this year.
Yeah, no shortage. You might see one of them, North America's largest traveling Ferris wheel, the Super Wheel. I show you a look for you here. A giant Ferris wheel, there it is. It's pretty big, making its debut at Stampede Park. Calgary is the only place in Canada you will be able to ride it this year. Some stats for you. The 150 feet, 46 meters. North American Midway Entertainment calls it the Rolls Royce of Ferris wheels. There are 36 climate-controlled gondolas that seat 4 to 6 people. So maybe when it's 30 degrees out there, they'll have some air conditioning for you.
That's a great way to escape the heat. You get a view as well. Some classic rides are back as well. The Crazy Mouse, absolutely a classic. It's that roller coaster, spins, drops, pivots on hairpin turns. We're told no ride is the same. Depending on how many people are in the car, it'll swing you left and right.
This is where you got to plan like when you're going to eat.
Right.
Right, because some of these might be just a little stomach turning. How about the Mega Drop? You'll need to leave your flip-flops, your shoes, your cowboy boots on the ground below if that's any indication of what that ride. Woo,
yeah, and I know, Dallas, this was one of your favorites, the Polar Express.
As a kid, I was always scared to slide right out of there.
Right, yeah, a lot of neon lights. That's fun at nighttime, loud music, and this is really, if it's your first time going to the Stampede, it's kind of like a rite of passage. Like
it is. I got to do it to my kids too, and they were holding on. I'm like, I felt that too, kid. It is a rite of passage. No, I love my children. It's all right. Okay. On to the food now. Always a big hit. Whether you stick to the traditional or you're ready for a daring adventure like that. Some interesting combinations like the Bad Breath Lemonade.
Ooh. Garlic and onions in your lemonade.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love it?
Who knows? They have a cotton candy lemonade and they have the classic, which of course is my go-to every year. What are we going to next? We have some other food options for you here. Oh, Coke Stage.
Yes, so yeah, we can't forget the musical aspect, which is such a huge part of the Stampede experience. The Coke Stage in a new location after nearly 40 years as they tore down the old stage. It's now got a new temporary home along the Elbow River in the southwest corner of the park, as there's a lot of work going on around Stampede Park.
And a lot of performers going to be taking that stage as well, including Carly Rae Jepsen, Alessia Cara, Cascade, and I believe we're taking a big look at the Big Four Roadhouse as well. The stage is set there.
For Kevin Costner and
Tonight he plays,
Modern
right?
West. Yeah, after that great, his great time leading the parade as marshal, he and his band Modern West are going to be playing at the Big Four. That's sure to draw a big crowd.
Well, I think everyone has been happy with the performance of our 2022 Stampede Parade Marshal, Kevin Costner, this morning. As we do say thank you for joining us all across Alberta today.
Thank you so much for watching. From all corners of the province, we'll leave you with some sights and sounds from this year's return to downtown, the 2022 Calgary Stampede Parade. Thanks so much for watching.
Happy stampeding.